Thank you very much for your time today. What's your reaction then to this vote wrapping up in Russia today?
Hello, and thank you very much for inviting. And yes, the situation in Russia is really freaking, I would say. And this amendment, as a whole, the changes constitution looks a little bit, as I said, freaking. There is no need to add such amendments in the constitution, and it looks like the only one reason that needed is just to make Mr. Putin as a kind of eternal president for Russia.
There's been very little focus on this, though. When he addressed Russians yesterday, he didn't mention that himself. And everyone in the government, all the officials, they're promoting other aspects of the constitutional reforms. And like I mentioned before, one of them focuses on same-sex marriage, effectively banning it. What do you make of that? And have you been able to campaign from where you are? You're living in exile right now. Have you been able to discourage people from voting, or actually encourage them rather to reject the changes?
Yes, of course. As a Russian LGBT network, we made a kind of statement asking people to first come and vote, not to sit at homes. And of course, we would love to make people think about these amendments and to make the decision as no to these amendments.
Do you think that much will change in Russia, though, as a result of this amendment? For example, in terms of homophobic attacks, I understand you yourself were attacked after coming out to a friend. What difference do you think this constitutional amendment will make in terms of how gay people, members of the LGBT community in Russia feel? Do you think it might trigger more intolerance, more violence?
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with you because first, yes, I think that it may raise the homophobic wave again because, the people will think that they are good citizens, which makes good things in the name of the Constitution, and especially this amendment. And the second is that it might make some activities of human rights defenders and LGBT activists pretty impossible, because any actions towards same-sex marriages could be noted as anti-constitutional, and that worries me a lot.
Are you encouraged at all by the fact that Vladimir Putin's popularity is ebbing with young people? I understand that young people were amongst his biggest supporters before, and now the tide is turning. Do you think that's necessarily a good thing when it comes to how much longer he might be in power?
Yes, I think so, because, for example, there's at least one generation which grew up within the term of one man. So there's kind of joke that there is no word as a president, but as a president is Putin. There's no need in the word the president, where we have a Putin.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you very much indeed for your time, Mikhail Tumasov.